Hello, this is my 36th speech. Today I'm going to be talking about the third book in the Divergent series, which is Allegiant. I'm not going to give a detailed summary like I did the last two books because I really did not want to give this speech, and this book is a pretty depressing book. You'll find out later in the speech, but it was a very hard read and probably my favorite but least favorite book in the series so far. So let's get started. Starts out, Evelyn is now the leader of the city. Her and her factionalists they have taken over. There is way too many of them for all of the factions combined to outnumber them. She is about to destroy the city when the Allegiant form. It is led by Joanna Reyes and Kara. Their motivation is to take back the city and overthrow Evelyn, but they have to hold a meeting to ask for help for some of the Dauntless and a few erudite to help them with their plan. They need to send a party outside the gate to find out what is out there, and if there is anything out there, who is out there. So Kara chooses Christina, Tobias, Triss, Tori, Zeke, and Peter to all go out beyond the gate and find out what's out there. Zeke says he can't go because Shauna, his girlfriend, is in a wheelchair and he can't leave her behind and he can't take her with him. So he says he can't go, but Uriah, his brother, volunteers for him to go. And before they leave, Tobias finds out that Caleb is going to be executed, so Tobias goes to get Caleb a few hours before they leave and takes them with him beyond the gate. Tobias is shot in the arm, but lives. Tori is shot and killed. Other than that, everyone else makes it beyond the gate. They are picked up by some people that live beyond the gate in a place called the Bureau of Genetic Welfare. There they meet a man named David, a friend of Triss's mom. He tells them about the genetically damaged, the genetically pure, and Chicago is, along with other cities, an experiment that they have been working on for quite some time now. The whole party stays there for a while, but while staying there, this girl named Nita asks Tobias to join her in a revolution and an attack on the Bureau that will help them take the memory serum to take away some power from the Bureau. But, of course, she's lying to Tobias so she can get his help. And he doesn't see this, but Triss does. He helps lead the attack. I think he works in the control room to disable the security systems or anything that they might need. So he's not really fighting in the attack. He's just helping like what he did at Dauntless. During the attack, Uriah dies due to an explosion. Tobias later finds out He later finds out by Triss that Nita was lying to him and wanted to take the death serum to control everything, because when you have the death serum, you can control anything that you want to. No one will step in your way. Tobias is now looked at as a traitor, and even though he is looked at as a traitor, he never meant for any harm to happen. He just wanted to help them because he didn't want to believe in the genetically pure and genetically damaged. He didn't want that to be a thing. So with this going on, that wasn't going to be a thing, but it totally was a terrible plan. This leads to some tension and an almost breakup between Tobias and Triss. And soon after the attack, Triss finds out that David is going to reset Chicago because there is the Allegiant. They are going to attack Erudite, and David believes that they're going to tear themselves apart. And he thinks that the best thing to do is to reset Chicago. Triss and everyone that came in the party plan to reset the Bureau instead, so they can kind of forget about this genetically pure and genetically damaged thing, and they can keep their family and friends in the city. They are helped by someone in the Bureau named Matthew. He is a scientist and sort of a researcher, and he helps them to figure out what the memory serum does and some things that are important for them to know. They have to send some people inside the city to tell Uriah's family that he's dead and he won't be coming back. So they send Tobias, Christina, and Peter. And one of Tobias's old instructors, named Amar, that was supposed to be dead but has been inside the city for a long time now. And at this time, Tobias and Tris have kind of made up and have forgiven each other for what they've done, and they have told each other no more secrets anymore. The people who stay behind and release the memory serum are Tris, Caleb, Matthew, and Kara. The original plan was Caleb goes into the weapon lab and releases the serum. But when you go into the weapon lab and disable the doors with an explosion, it releases the death serum on you, which you have very little chance of survival unless you are genetically pure like Tris. So Tris goes instead of Caleb because now she realizes that she actually doesn't want Caleb to die, and she actually loves her brother even though he betrayed her. She goes in to the weapons lab and she can fight off the death serum. That was a very intense part. I was sitting on the edge of my seat when she ran into the lab and disabled the doors and was hit with a death serum because she almost did not survive, but she did. Once she gets inside the weapons lab, David is waiting there to kill her. He shoots her twice, but she is able to release the serum and reset the bureau. But Tobias comes back to find that Tris is gone, and at the end of the book, there is an epilogue that tells what happens 2 years later. Tobias has made a home for himself inside the city in an apartment. He's made up with his mom and doesn't have really any more problems with his dad. He doesn't see him anymore. And he lives peacefully with his friends inside the city. So that's the end of the series. It was a very, very good series. And at the end, when Tobias found out that Tris was gone, I was sobbing. I've never cried during a movie or even a book, but it was really sad. Reading the book, it made me feel like I was connected to all the characters, and I had a relationship with Tris. Like, she was my best friend, and that's what I felt like. I lost a best friend when she died. So it was a really good series. I loved it, and I would totally read it again, and I suggest that anyone who wants a good read should read the Divergent series. It's really good. This is the end of the series. The last book, though, is 4. It's not really part of the series. It's like just an add-on and a different perspective in Tobias's perspective. I am probably going to read the book. I don't know if I'm going to do a speech on it. We'll see. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a wonderful day.